Hello, thank you for joining me. This fuchsia is still in flower. I dread that first frost coming and getting rid of them, but they are so beautiful, and I really wanted to record this by them because, let me just tweak out one. They always remind me of little ballerinas, ballet dancers, and tutu, and I think they're en point, so there we go. Long may they last. So I want to talk about dance. It's quite light, and I think we need a bit of lightness in our lives at present. But there's the old saying, having said that, I can't remember it. Don't know the order, but dance like nobody can see you, sing like nobody can hear. And I think there's another one, but I can't remember that. I'm sure somebody will include it in the messages. Thank you if you do. But for me, dance has always been a big part of my life. I used to go to dancing classes, and I started at the age of 3, 4. I loved it. And my first ever concert and my first ever solo was at the age of 4, when apparently I walked into the middle of the stage in my little dress, holding a little tiny handbag made of silky material. And I sang and I danced to Lucy Lockett Had a Pocket. And apparently when I walked out, and I just stood there until the piano started. But Mum said, everyone went, ah. And she said, I went, But all went okay. And I used to do exams for tap, ballet and musical comedy. Never very keen on that. But I loved doing the concerts. And we used to go each year to an orphanage in Manchester, an orphanage that was run by nuns. And the first year I went, it was a surprise to me because I really hadn't seen any nuns face to face, as it were. And they had the big wimples and everything. And they were such lovely people, made us so welcome and gave us a gorgeous tea afterwards, that we always used to look forward to going back each year. And I had to stop dancing at the age of 11 when I moved to secondary school, because my parents said, your education has to come first. I was disappointed with that, but that was their choice, their decision, and I'm sure I must have stood my case, but I had to accept their decision. But I've danced a lot since, and as a child, a teenager, I did continue with dancing, but ballroom dancing with my parents, and I loved that. Going to a beautiful ballroom with a very springy floor, a big ballroom, and being whisked round by my dad, who was a lovely dancer, and getting to know people, so I was also included and asked to dance by other people. I'm sure I was the only sort of early teenager, 12, 13-year-old there. But it felt wonderful, and I loved it, really did. And Mum very kindly would sit out some dances, but then she would be asked to dance by somebody else, so it always worked out well. And we used to have social evenings, not at the ballroom, at a local church. And that was always fun, with lots of giggles, with people getting tied up, because we would do progressive dances where you move on from one to another, and some sort of pseudo country dances. So that was good. When I was married, I've mentioned before that I don't think my ex-husband considered that I could do anything. Certainly he didn't think I could sing, but was shot down in flames by somebody else for that. And we used to go to regular happenings, functions in the mess at various Air Force stations. And we went to an Oktoberfest in one particular one, and there was a big umpire band with the guys wearing the leather lederhosen and everything, and it was a lovely evening. And my husband and the people that we were with, they said, oh, let's dip out a bit early and go and get our food. So we were just going down the side of the dance floor, and the leader of this band grabbed my hand, and he said, come and dance with me. And there was nobody dancing. The dance floor was empty. So I thought, right. He said, right, follow me, it's a polka. I said, oh, that's okay, I can polka. And that was it. We were off polkaing around the room, and out of the side of my eye, I caught sight of my ex-husband, whose mouth had dropped agape. And I thought, yes, I can do it. And afterwards, this guy went to the phone. He said, well, I never expected that, to find somebody without asking who could polka the night away. That made my day, my week, my month, and probably my year as well. But when my son got married out in Spain, he had arranged for salsa classes as part of the reception. He'd been to a wedding where this had happened and really enjoyed it, so he decided to go for it. And I was there, my ex-husband was there, but we were sort of keeping studiously apart from one another. Anyway, they started with the salsa classes, and I sort of joined in because that was fine. It was people doing it on their own, so no problem. But then they said, right, let's have a proper dance. So I sat down because I hadn't got a partner. Anyway, this young man that I'd met a couple of times came up to me and said, come on, Dee. I said, oh, you don't want to dance with me? He said, yeah, of course I do, come on. And he said, I can salsa. He said, forget what he's told you. He said, just follow my lead. I said, right, okay, I'm happy. And this gorgeous, younger, good-looking, very, very pleasant young man did a salsa with me. And I won't go into details, but it was quite raunchy. And he would do something. He said, right, you do the same to me. Okay. Anyway, people said afterwards, you should have seen your ex's face whilst that was happening. So, dance can make me chuckle with memories remembered. And on that note, I shall remember my dad and his looking into the fuchsia jokes, and I shall look into the fuchsia and hope that I will continue dancing. I do. I put music on and I just dance gently, sing loudly, but it helps. Nobody can see, nobody can hear. I do get some strange looks from Mishka, but that's okay, no problem. So thank you for joining me. do have a dance, even if it is only alone, where nobody can see, nobody can hear. But that doesn't matter. It's for you. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.